Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's video newsletter summary. I'm Andrew Somerville, for those who don't know me, and I'm the team lead at DNA Homes team at the Red Brick Real Estate Brokerage. I've had a lot of people come up to me or email me and say, hey, Andrew, I love those monthly newsletters. I like the video that you do to summarize the market. It's very helpful. So we're going to continue to do that. And if you haven't read the email below, take a look. There's a few things that you might be interested in, and Mother's Day is one of those things. So we have a few ideas for you. So check that out. But first, let's continue on with where we stopped last month and see if what we talked about makes sense. Okay, so last month, I'm sharing my screen here. Hopefully you can see it. So last month we saw a little dip in the single family detached home value. And we thought that that was because a lot of detached homes were selling that were smaller because they're student rental homes. And I said to continue to watch the market as those sell off and they're replaced by actual family homes that are slightly larger in size, 1,800 square feet, even into the 2000s and beyond. And it looks like that has begun to happen as detached homes that are slightly larger are starting to sell, and the average home in Guelph is now 1,163,000. Now, I just want to make a note that the number below in the graph that you see is slightly different than this number because I'm recording this on May the 3rd, and a few other listings that maybe were not reported on time but had the deal closed or gone firm before the end of the month may have been submitted yesterday. So that's why there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. And there always will be a bit of a discrepancy because people get their paperwork in at different times. Okay, so that's the first one. So it looks like the trend that we thought was going to happen is happening, and we'll keep our eye on that for next month to see if it continues. Now, it's interesting because the world out there is saying that the market is crashing, it's going to be a disaster. And personally, I don't think that's true, but I do think it's going to go down and sustain for a little bit. What I've seen in other time frames, for example, in 2017, the market did go down a little bit because everybody is kind of wondering what to do. Then they realize, hey, I still need to buy a home, or I still want to buy an investment property. And then they start buying and the market goes right back up. It's really a supply and demand issue. But we are seeing a dip in the townhouses. Now, this is a lot bigger of a dip than I thought it would be. We've gone down from 878 to 811. That's a pretty significant dip. Now, what I think is happening here, and this is from me being in the market, showing homes, what I'm noticing is that there's a lot more townhouses on the lower end of the market. And I mean townhouses, if you're from Guelph, the north end or west end of Guelph has a lot of older townhouse complexes. In fact, some of them are the original townhouse complexes in Guelph. And so they're a little bit more beat up. The layout's a little different. The condo fees are higher. So naturally, the prices are going to be lower. But there's still a lot of first-time home buyers that are looking to get into those homes, so they're snatching them up. In fact, there were a few that were listed at $399 and still sold for over $500,000. Okay. Whereas last month, I think a lot of the townhouses that were selling were again geared towards student housing or were newer, and they were commanding a lot higher price. So let's look at the condos. Condos have also gone down, and I have no explanation for this except for maybe there's a lot more on the market. I haven't done the research on this one at all. I am surprised by it because last month when other segments were dropping a bit, this stayed the same. In fact, there's like $100 difference from month over month. And then all of a sudden we had a pretty big dip of almost $60,000. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. And then lastly, another surprise is semi-detached houses have gone up. And the previous month, they had the biggest dip. So I'm glad to see that that's gone back up. And again, I think it's related to the student market where there was a lot of smaller, older townhouses in a student rental neighborhood that were selling. And now we're going back to the ones that are more family oriented or are newer. Okay, so again, we'll keep an eye on all of this stuff. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can actually look at you. So here's the thing, is that we can't predict the future, but we can know what's happening today. I can tell you what's happening with our buyers and sellers as we're competing for offers or not competing for offers. And there are certainly less offers going in, but there are multiple offers still for the majority of deals. We're just not seeing 10, 15, 20 offers. We're seeing 2, 3, 4, and 5. And ultimately, that does yield a lower selling price, but the selling prices are actually lifting a little bit too. So you're not getting a detached house listed for $699 anymore and it's selling for $1 million. You're getting a detached house selling, listing for $850 and selling for $1 million. Okay, so that is a significant difference there. There are buyers that are gun shy, that know that they love the house, think it's worth more, but they're cut off with their what they can afford, and so they think, well, what's the point of even bothering? Because really, in fact, that's a pretty smart thing to do, because they're just shooting themselves in the foot, so to speak, if they know that they're not going to get the house because they can't afford what it's actually worth. Because then it'll sell higher, and next time they go to buy a similar house, the price will be even higher again. Hope that makes sense. Anyways, the sky is not falling. It is a great time to buy because there are less offers on the table, which means your percentage of getting the house is a lot higher. And when you're selling your house, you're still getting a really good price. Okay. If you have any more questions, give me or my team a call. You can shoot us an email or call us directly. We're here to help. Until next time, take care and happy Mother's Day to all you mothers.